Previously on Josh's Car Corner.
We are going to build a 24 hours of Lemons race car. It's a 2000 Chevy Camaro that I found on Craigslist. We are working out of Local Motors in Chandler, Arizona. No two tires match. Michelin, Bridgestone, Pirelli, Continental.
Like a dog came along and laid a nice little turn in our radiator for us.
Can't get it with the hammer.
And how do we get to be first, SpongeBob?
Floor it!
Floor it!
Okay, floor it!
Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Josh's Car Corner. It is mid-April right now, and as you can see out the window right here, I am pulling up next to our Lemons car. It's been about a month since the race, and as you can see, the car is now half covered with a tarp, and it's been filled up with a bunch of spare parts and garbage from Local Motors. And looking at it, you can see that we didn't trash it, we didn't crash it at the track, but unfortunately there's a reason for that, a reason that you're going to see. Every story needs to have an ending, and this one does as well. So what you're about to see is how we finished building the Lemons car, getting to the track, the story of racing, and how the whole thing wrapped up and came to a conclusion. Okay, we got our brand new tires in that we're going to race the car on. We actually got a pretty sweet deal on these from Tire Rack. These are hand-cooked Ventus RS3s. They're getting discontinued. They're a 200 tread wear tire. We got them in 225 50/16, which is a little shorter than factory tire diameter, but it's a little bit wider too. And they're super, super sticky tires, so these should work really nice for us on the track. And I'm putting these on right now. Actually, the first car job I had in college was working at a GM dealer, as in their lube and tire center. And I used to put tires on all day long, and I loved it. It was a lot more fun than dealing with people getting oil changes who drive their cars 10 or 12,000 miles, don't take care of them, and then when you tell them their engine's going apart because they don't change their oil enough, they yell at you and tell you it's your fault. Changing tires was a lot easier. Just tell them to go sit down, enjoy a muffin, give me a half hour, and I'll sort it out for you. And super stretchy. They're a bit of a chore to work with, but man, they're going to grip good on the track. Just like that. Tires are done. Well, looks like I might have a little something there. Still perfect.
You got all your the data input for that all good?
The what now?
The size, width, and where the other one is.
Should be.
But we're a team, son. Is this recorded?
Yep.
Watch it still come back perfect. Or it comes out.
That's the goal.
Perfect.
Fuck yeah. Oh, can we get that sweet white wheel paint for me?
You want white walls?
Yeah.
I don't know. We might roll these tires over pretty good and roll it right off.
What's that?
We might roll these tires over pretty good and rough it right off.
I think that's
We haven't changed the fact that this car's gonna roll like a son of a bitch. Well,
So it's 2.5 paper towels wide?
yes. Yes, mother, it's 2.5 paper towels wide. Because Lemons will not accept my tall ass the way it is, we've got to do this now. So I've tried to figure out whatever I could do to make a template, so I figure this will work.
Oh, okay.
I'm not using paper towels as a standard rule of measurement. I'm freaking using it to draw dots on. Okay. Well, have our template.
this.
I am filming this.
Okay.
Are you kidding? We've got the hammer out. The camera's always rolling when the hammer's out. So after trying about a dozen different combinations and cutting all this shit out the floor, we finally found a happy place to put the seat where all of us are going to be okay. We're going to have to make spacers for the front for me to rotate the seat backward so my head will clear, but it'll work. So now we're going to actually commit to drilling holes and mounting this effing seat so we can...
You want to put the seat back in first to make sure it doesn't wobble? Or do you want to just drill the holes and then beat up the floor some more? No. Okay.
Once it's bolted down, I don't think it's going to wobble. It's not a weeble.
There is so much flexibility in this door, you can't lean on the door now and close it.
Give me an example. Me.
Hold on. That way? Let's figure out how to unlock the door first.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Did you hit something?
Yeah, there's something down there.
Nick assured me there was nothing under that floor pan.
I told you the fuel lines run on this side of the thing.
Well, then what'd we hit?
Probably a fuel line.
Ugh.
This should be fine. Let's still try to figure out how to open this door.
It's kind of hard when you don't have a door panel to guide you through the process. Did you get...
I think I found something crucial.
Okay,
So,
anyway.
now that we figured out how to do that,
Yeah.
so since we cut the inside of this door frame
my
out, I mean, you
God.
can see that right there.
Look at that.
That's 2 fingers. But it's alright, whoa.
Is that loud?
Hold on, we'll keep
Okay, no,
We'll
no.
let
I
you
won't.
have
I
it.
won't.
I'm
I don't
just
need to.
gonna-
I'll don't need
Okay,
to
I'll get my head out of the car.
Oh, there we go.
We got it.
It's loud for me too, by the way.
There. Now we got a bird's eye view.
There we go.
Look at that.
It's barely moving. Okay, that's making me deaf.
Yeah, why do you think I took my head out of the car?
God, okay, I'm done with that. All right. Yep. What? Oh. All this fucking hassle for a seat. It never occurred to me when we were going through this whole process that this would be the thing that held us up. I always thought it'd be something stupid like we can't get the engine to run on all 6 cylinders, or the transmission won't go into 4th, or something stupid like that. So this is where the car sits tonight. We've got Ryan's girlfriend helping us out with decorating. We're gonna finally get a little more color on the car because we're getting a little sick of the purple paint. Right, Nick?
Right.
So right now we're wiring in a kill switch. So we gotta take power from the battery and from the alternator, route it to this kill switch that we're gonna put in the car so we can shut it off in case it's upside down and on fire. I finished putting in a whole new fuel pump bucket and everything that Nick went and bought. And for my trouble for doing that, I got this. That is sliced pretty much from my fingernail all the way around to about there. Feels really good.
Almost the size of her vagina.
Say that again. Say something for the kids.
Something about a hoo-ha and a wetware.
That was for the kids.
Yeah, exactly. I found out that the filter from my GTO will actually fit in here perfectly, but we needed something to close the gap, so I got about 24 rubber bands and just put those around there, so it'll seal up when it comes time to put the air filter on. So it's getting there. We've got a week to go, and
Hey, don't do that on the paint.
you're thinking residual value again, aren't you?
It'll be worth something someday.
But the question I have to ask is, to who?
Somebody's gonna have money. I don't know how much, but
They're also going to have more dollars than cents.
there's a lot of those people.
This is true.
Arizona.
Are you bad-mouthing your home state? Well, it ain't your home state.
So we rated Local Motors scraps, and this is all the vinyl wrap we're using. Tons of different colors of the rainbow. We still got to put the number on the side. Our number is 125. And I got to put all the stickers from EBC Brakes, and if any of our other sponsors decide to come through and give us some frickin' stickers. That's our gauge cluster in there. It's really, really dirty, but it does work. We fixed everything. And that is our steering wheel that we're borrowing also from Local. Our racing seat mounted and ready to go. And we all really like that gear shifter. It just really feels nice in your hand, and it's in a perfect position too, especially with a lowered seat. So it's going to be fun to drive. It's a little snug in there. My legs are kind of tight, but I'm really looking forward to driving it. So here's the situation. It's Sunday. We've got 4 days to go before we got to have that thing loaded up and ready to go. We've meant to work on it this entire weekend. Unfortunately, no one's able to let us in because the Nick has not been around and Ryan has been sick. So today, Nick and I are just working out in the parking lot on the car. We're gonna do what we can today. We're gonna change fluids, oil, transmission, and differential service. And we're gonna Velcro up all the control modules so they're out of the way and not bouncing around in there. Do other things that we can think to do. Try and get this thing ready to race. Well, we got the oil changed already, or rather I got the oil changed already, and Nick is putting in new sway bar end link bushings because they were just shot. Right now I'm busy pumping my brains out because we serviced the transmission. Turned out the fluid that was in there was pretty good, but we didn't know. So now I'm pumping new fluid in there now, so I can sit here and do the switch back and forth, side to side, work the peck action, get this transmission filled back up.
Oh my God, it's such a good thing we're doing this windshield.
Why is it pretty?
The roll cage guys destroyed it.
Oh yeah, that is pretty dirty.
That's not dirty.
Maybe not dirty.
That's pitting in the glass.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got you.
From the welding arc.
Ah. Nick is back there bedding in the brakes right now. It sounds really good. It looks good too.
It's interesting. I'm still trying to figure out when you get in it hard into second, it's either trying to break them loose or it is the clutch failing. But I think it's trying to break them loose.
I would imagine as thick as these tires are, it's the latter.
I don't know. Feel it.
Oh, it revs up nice now.
Yeah.
It is Tuesday night, and we are making our final modifications and things we need to do to the car. Ryan got us some awesome vinyl lettering and numbering, so we got 125 on the car, and then he got us these awesome name tags and national flags, so it actually looks like a race car. I put that on there in quotes to drive home the fact it is a race car. Got our major sponsor sticker on there, EBC Brakes. Again, they gave us $1,000 in brakes. Thank you very much to them for doing that. We've just been putting random decorations on the car. We put a tow hook back here. So we needed to make sure everyone knew that there was a tow hook back there, and you can't really see that, but it says yank this, and then points to it. This is the side of the car that I decorated. And we've also got the same thing going on there with the names and the numbers, and Megan helped out a little bit. Ryan is over there bending up our front tow hook. I started putting Local Motors on here. I gotta finish that. We have our fire extinguisher mounted. We've got all our gauges and our wiring tied up. It is just about done. The only thing we have left to do is change the diff fluid, and there is now a slight worry that the clutch may or may not make it through, but we've come up with a plan. We're gonna order one at the O'Reilly's in Wilcox, and a radiator too, and just have them at the store in case we need them. And if we need them, great, they're there, and if we don't need them, awesome, they can just send them back. So it's Thursday night. We have to pack up and leave tomorrow, and of course things have to be everything the hard way. That is the motto for this team. So right now the car's up in the air. We found out Tuesday night after we did all the major work to get this thing done that the clutch really is slipping. We needed to put a new clutch in, so that's what they're doing right now. They're just about to take.
That was one solid drop away from shredding. You
That
can
would
see
not
it was
have-
coming apart right there.
That would not have lasted long. Meanwhile, our new Vallejo clutch. Oh, I've heard of Vallejo. That's not a terrible brand. Yeah, that wouldn't have lasted very long.
No, it wouldn't.
So that's a good thing we're doing that. Oh, look at all the burn marks on that thing. That's sweet.
Oh, flywheel's just as nice.
Oh,
That's a high spot. That's a high spot.
You just actually good question.
I think it's time for the death wheel.
Yep.
Okay, things are coming along. We've got the transmission back in. Ryan's tightening up the bolts right now, putting the starter back on. I tightened up the rear end, put the cover back on, we cleaned it out, we got some fresh fluid in there. Nick is in the process of putting the drive shaft back in. It's almost 11 p.m., so with any luck, we just might have
Be
this
out of here
thing.
by 2.
I was gonna say midnight, but if we're gonna play by the roadkill rules, it might be 2.
This is definitely not north-south.
What do you mean by that?
This is east-west.
Oh, okay.
I asked for one thing, Mike. One fucking thing.
No. You asked him. I only was.
Let me see if I can help you with that.
The position.
Let me see if we can help you with that.
You gotta crawl up there and undo the parking brake.
I thought you released the parking brake.
I did, and then I tightened it so I can tighten the bolts down once it's north-south oriented.
Oh, well, you should have waited for me to do that and then tighten it.
You said you did.
I said nothing of the sort. I said okay.
I asked you, I said, is it rotated? You said
Someone
yes.
swing on someone.
Meanwhile, Mike has been here all night trying to start fights. Let's not bicker and squabble over who turned what against who. Well, the car is back on the ground. The transmission is back in. That transmission has fluid. It has a rear end, which also has fluid. We've got the exhaust back on. Everything underneath is back together. All we're doing now is we're going to mount one more tiny little mirror on the door right here just to give us a little extra driver's side visibility. We got to put the shifter boot back on. The clutch is in, the clutch is bled, and she will be ready to drive. We can get it loaded on the trailer and start getting ready for getting down to Wilcox for the race. Lemons Day is finally here. I am at Indy Motorsports Park in Wilcox, Arizona. It is Friday, March 18th. I am waiting for the crew to arrive with the car and the trailer and the truck and all the tools. I got here a little early because there's a little bit of a hiccup we had to overcome. I was supposed to get our Hans device. This year, Hans devices are required in Lemons, and I had to get ours. It was supposed to be delivered yesterday at the latest. Well, I called on Wednesday to find out where it was, and I was told that somehow the shipping got screwed up and it wasn't going to be delivered until the end of the day today. And I had to be down here right now today to get it. So I ended up calling the company that I got the Hans device from, and they overnighted a new Hans device to the hotel that I'm staying at down here in Wilcox so we can race this weekend. So I got the Hans device and I've come to the track early just to see what's going on around here, to shoot some footage, take some pictures of the scenery. It's pretty beautiful scenery around here, and we are literally in the middle of nowhere. It's about 10 miles away from town. You can't see anything for miles and miles. All you can see is these race cars driving around and this track and this scenery. It's actually really cool. And there is a wide variety of cars out here. I'm seeing all kinds of BMWs, Mercedes, a couple of Porsche 944s. There's a Volvo station wagon right there going by with a fake dog in the back with devil red eyes. It's pretty funny. There's all kinds of cool, interesting, exciting cars out here. There's some guys with a 3 Series BMW that turned it into a 1/4 scale garbage truck. It's so neat. So there's all kinds of creativity going on around here. We unfortunately aren't that creative. We just cover the car in vinyl stickers, but we also did a lot more than some other cars that are out here who basically just showed up with a number on the side of the car. So we were kind of creative. We did what we could, and the guys will be here soon. We'll get the car teched, we'll get our gear teched, and hopefully we can get out and do some practice today before they shut this place down. But if they don't, we got all day tomorrow, and we got all day Sunday to be racing, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm getting so excited for it now that I'm actually here and seeing the cars go around and seeing the atmosphere. It's awesome. So really looking forward to it. Okay, it's almost 5 o'clock. The guys are here. We got the car unloaded. We've run it through tech twice now. They sent us back because they didn't like our fuel cap. The rubber on it was dry rotted, and they don't like our factory battery tie down. So we're having to make one out of a bar. And now they want us to weld a plate under that bar to hold the battery in place, because apparently the battery's really going to go somewhere.
Apparently we're like battery hold down.
Do you guys have a welder?
We do. He's about to use it, but it's
okay.
a Harbor Freight deal.
Okay.
What
Well,
are you trying to do?
we need to weld a plate of metal to our battery hold down to secure the battery.
Same thing. We gotta do the same thing.
Hey! Small world.
You guys don't have any flat steel, do you?
Flat steel?
Do we have any more? Flat steel?
What?
Do we have?
Flat steel.
I might.
We'll dig around.
A whole bunch right there.
Yeah, because we were in the same boat.
Service for service? That works.
That works. I like it.
Cool.
Ryan, there's no reason to go like super ham on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm still pro just go buy a fucking tie down when we go out later.
Yeah.
So if that's enough to get us through tech, and then we can literally just give it to them to get them through tech.
That's just spackling. Is it even making penetration?
No.
No. We just got done with our rookie drivers meeting, and we're about to go out and walk the track. These guys are on Verados, and I don't even know what the hell that thing is that Ryan's on, but they're gonna ride the track, and I'm gonna have to walk the track because we only have 3 devices. So it's just the view right now as the sun's going down. So by the time we've walked the track, because it's about 1.5 miles, it'll probably be dark, but right now it's pretty picturesque. Okay, so we had to buy a bunch of supplies. We needed food, and one of the people on the team needed underwear because he forgot them. So we went to Walmart. We had to drive all the way out to Benson to get them. So now we're at the Denny's in Benson, and we just spent who knows how much money on frickin' groceries and stuff at Walmart. But Nick wanted a hot meal, so we ended up coming to Denny's. But Ryan and I are gonna sit out here and just make food out of what we just bought. God, we bought so much stuff, and we still gotta buy gas and ice.
Didn't they buy plates?
We did not buy plates. Use this empty bag as a plate.
Wow.
Dude, thrifty! That was the theme tonight.
That's not thrifty though.
Okay.
I can't put smack salad on it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's the end of Friday. It's about 10 to midnight. We've been going all freaking day. We ran all the way to Benson to Walmart, got a bunch of supplies, and then we went to Denny's, and Ryan and I ate the food we just bought, and Nick went inside to Denny's and got dinner, and then we came back, and then we filled up. We had this fuel canister with a hand crank pump on it, and apparently it holds 30 gallons. We filled it up at the gas station, and then we also bought 3 gas cans because you have to fill on the hot pit, which is basically the pit lane entrance when you fill the car up with gas.
So we put 15 gallons in, we bought 45 gallons of gas, and we've had this bright idea that maybe we'll sell some of the gas tomorrow at a prorated rate and make some of our money back. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I am absolutely exhausted after last night and tonight. I am just wiped. Those guys are going to sleep in the trailer. More power to them. I got myself a hotel room for tonight and tomorrow night. I want a bed. I want a shower, and I'm only going to get 6 hours of sleep, but it's going to be good sleep because I'm actually in a bed. So I'm going to head back out there tomorrow morning, driver's meeting, and we'll have the battery tie down done, and with all luck, the car will run good, and tomorrow will be an awesome day.
I mean, if you want to slide one, slide one.
Car's ready. Ryan's going first. I got all the GoPros mounted on it. We'll turn them on later because we have no idea how this first session is going to go. But at least they're on the car, so if we hot pit, we can just turn them all on later. He said an hour he's going to drive.
All right. Well, originally I said 4, but
Oh, well, that's not going to work.
whatever.
Yeah.
I guess I'll be a good judge because I already feel fucking a wet turtle head coming out.
Just don't kill the car in that hour.
Oh, I mean, I'll do my best. At
Nice
least the first time.
and easy.
Yeah, remember what he said, going fast is the 4th highest priority.
No, go over it. Sure? Well, there's like a socket for it. Yeah, there's a spot for it. Hang on. No, just no.
Green flag. Should be coming around any second here. Oh, that ain't good. Hood just came up on that S10. Hope he sees it. He does see it. Wow, the hood just came up on that. I think I caught it on camera. Wow, that's crazy. That'll make you poop your pants a little bit. Come on, pass that beamer. Go. Oh, holy fuck, look at it go. Dude, it's got balls.
Remember, with a throat mic, you cannot use nasal tones. You have to speak everything with your vocal cords.
Oh, here he comes. Well, we're about to have our first visit here to the penalty box because Ryan got the car sideways coming down the downhill turn on the back end. So we'll see what they've got to say about it.
Right. Get a feel for
Let's look at the tires quick.
Little chewy on the inside, but it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our toe was pretty bad, dude.
Yeah.
They started acting up when the tires got a little warm.
Yeah, we got we'll finish running your stint, we'll do an adjustment.
Yeah, and I can't hear a fucking thing you're saying.
Okay.
It's tough. It's gonna have to be like a yes or no.
What'd he say?
He can't hear me. Those front tires are getting chewed to death. They're bad.
They were blistering. Ryan stayed on track for about 2 hours before he finally came in. Then it was my turn to drive. It took about 15 minutes on the pit road, but finally I was strapped into the car and on my way onto the track. After 2 months of constant hours working on the car and thousands of dollars spent, I was finally racing a Lemons car. My first couple laps out, I was nervous as heck. I hadn't driven the car, I hadn't driven the track. There were cars all around me passing me like crazy, and I just wanted to stay on the track and not hit anybody. By the time I had gotten 3 laps down, I was getting more comfortable in the car and starting to learn its limits. But it didn't last long. In the middle of my 3rd lap, I got onto the back straightaway, gave it the beans, and the engine immediately started to lose power. It got weaker and weaker to the point where it completely shut off and died. And I coasted to a stop and watched the smoke start to pour out from under the hood. I tried to crank the car over, but it wouldn't fire. I sat there for about 5 minutes before the tow truck was able to pick me up. They dragged me back to the paddock, and we pulled the car into our stall and began to diagnose what had gone wrong. Okay, so here's the situation. Nick and I are at AutoZone in Wilcox again. What we diagnosed is going on with the car after about an hour messing around with it is that we blew the driver's side head gasket. So we're at AutoZone right now hoping they have a head gasket and head bolts because we found out they are torque to yield, and also we need to get intake gaskets, so we got to take that off. We're going to try to put it back together. We're definitely done running today. If we're lucky, we can get it back together and maybe we'll get a chance to run tomorrow. Well, we're back at the track. This is where things are at right now. They got the plenum off. We're trying to figure out how to get the lower intake off. Then we can take the head off, figure out what damage we've got. Okay, after finding one last mysterious bolt buried under a bunch of crap, we got the lower off. It doesn't look too awful in there except for the water. Another beautiful GM technological advancement, DexCool. So that is what is in our cylinder cooling passages for the cylinder head, Dex Sludge. There's no flow on that one. Then the other one on this side's just as bad. There was almost no flow across his head. No wonder it overheated. And this one's just as bad. Ryan already pulled a huge chunk out of it. But that side was just as bad, and that's the side that blew.
So, I mean, that's not the best example, but I don't know if you can see
that
this
side's a
over
perfect
here.
example.
It's clogged. Oh my god.
Look at
Deck
that.
sludge.
Which makes you think the passages in the block have got to be just as bad. So those chemicals did nothing.
Or those chemicals did everything because they shouldn't be that shouldn't be that soft. That should be hard as a rock.
So it's like everything was stacked against us. This motor was always going to overheat.
Woo! And we made it fucking 2 hours? That's not bad.
You made it 2 hours, asshole.
That's, hey, we man, asshole.
We're a team. Yeah.
I could have done this alone.
Team, go fuck yourself.
That's right. Ryan and I have been working to get this head off. We got the big bolts out of the head. I got the exhaust unbolted from the manifold underneath, but then we found out that there's bolts underneath the exhaust manifold. So we're gonna have to take the manifold off the head to get those small bolts out, and then hopefully we'll get in there, finally have a good cylinder head, and slap a gasket on it, and start putting it back together. So let's diagnose.
It's blown.
Boom. Actually, where's the compressed air?
Just paper towels is fine.
Okay, I just got back from 2 hours of running. I had to run to Benson, and I had to run back to the AutoZone in Wilcox to get these parts, an upper intake gasket, an L bracket for the upper plenum that Nick is fucking with. We got a new air intake temp sensor because the old one fell off because no one bothered to tape it down. New plugs. That's the L-shaped bracket we need. With any luck, we'll get this thing back tonight, back together tonight, and fired up before we have to go to bed. Okay, lower intake manifold is bolted down and in. Ryan has been relieved of his duties, and he is freaking camping out in the chair over there. Other people are now raiding our tools because they need things done. We're gonna put the exhaust manifold on, then we're gonna put the valve cover on, then we're gonna put the upper on, fill the wiring back up, fill it with water. Oh yeah, we're gonna put the LT1 radiator in that we bought as well because this one is junk. Hopefully, once all that's done, it will run.
Yeah, we're waiting for the donor. They got a donor.
They're not gonna make it.
Car coming, dude.
They're not gonna make it.
I mean, like, it would be cool if they did, but fuck if they did, because then we don't win another heroic award.
Dude, but we've been working way longer than that.
That's true, and I think a head gasket is way harder than
They
just
broke
replacing
at
an
the
engine.
end, dude. We broke it after an hour.
Well, yeah, changing an engine is easy because you don't have to take the engine apart.
Yeah,
that
we had
is
to.
fucking easy.
We had to
Especially
take
in
the
a
engine
fucking
apart.
Kia.
Yeah.
We machined the engine over there.
By the way, this is still a car show and this is still a race. It isn't just turned into a giant drinking fest, even though the evidence on camera would make you think otherwise. And that evidence too. Well, it's Sunday, it's 2 o'clock, and we are rolling back into Local Motors. And the reason we're rolling back in, well, it should be pretty obvious. We couldn't fix the car. Turned out it wasn't just a head gasket. We lost the compression in all the cylinders. The motor got so hot that that the piston rings all got torched. We have no compression. So unfortunately, our racing experience at Lemons has come to an end. And 3 of us, 2 didn't get to drive at all. I got to drive 5 minutes. So don't know what's gonna happen next. Back to where it's sat for the last 2 months. Well, we just got the car unloaded and we're all going our separate ways. It's just such a disappointing situation. I mean, it's nobody's fault. Car overheated. I mean, if we hadn't sat in the frickin' pit lane for so long, it would have gone better. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe the car was always going to do that. It's hard to say, but I don't know. It's going to take me a while to get over the fact that poured 2 months of work and a couple $1,000s into this project. We all did. And to have it blow up after 2 hours and be completely unfixable is just so draining. It just sucks. So I don't know. I'm just trying to feel out what people might want to do. I know Nick wants to fix the car and run it again. I know I'd like to. Really depends on Ryan if he wants to. Ricky, he doesn't care. He's always hated the car and he doesn't want anything to do with it, so we can consider him out. But we'll see what happens. We might end up selling the car as is and someone else can stick a motor in it and go have some fun with it. Or we might stick a motor back in it and try it again. I'd really like to try it again because I'd like to get some whole closure on the project and see what you can do. I mean, when it was running good. It was fast. It was like third in class. It was beating some A-class cars time-wise. I mean, it would have finished well if it had kept running, but it all comes down to us having the time and the dedication to work on it again. So I think I'll wrap everything up, the old experience, after I've had a day or two to process and finish this whole video off. So now you know the story of what happened with our 24 hours of Lemons adventure. A couple of follow-up things to just mention about it. First off, Nick, my friend Nick with the beard, he ended up buying out the shares of me and Nick Ricky, and him and Ryan still own the car. I think they're going to try to fix it and race it again. I don't really know. It's kind of up in the air because he's got another car he's got to work on right now. It took me a good solid week to get over what had happened and really process it. The thing about it is, it was a combination of things that led to the car failing. Deck sludge, we didn't put a better radiator in it, we didn't follow our schedule. We were going to originally run it 1 hour, we didn't. So there are a lot of things that led to the car failing. But I can't nitpick it because it wouldn't change anything that happened. So what's done is done. The ultimate question I have left to answer is, would I recommend to somebody to do 24 hours of Lemons? And what I'd have to say about it is this. If you go into it with the idea that you're going to do it for $500, forget that. Because they've floated this idea out there that you can build and run a car for $500, but that's just not true, especially if you've never done it before. There's no way you can feasibly afford to do it. You might get the car for $500, but you are going to have to put money into it to make it survive an event like that. You're going to have to buy a cage, you're going to have to buy brakes and tires. Even if you can weld the cage yourself, you're going to have to pay for the materials. It's going to cost money, and if you don't have any racing equipment, that's going to cost money. Helmet, appropriate suit, shoes, gloves, all that stuff. And now that they require these Hans devices, and the cheapest Hans device that's out there that you could buy is $360, it's just a lot more expensive than you might think. So if you can get a crew of 6 guys, you can maybe divide those costs up a little bit and make it easier on yourselves. But if you've got 4 like us, you're all going to have to just accept the fact that you're going to have to chip in quite a lot. We all had $1,500 into the car. Once you consider what we put into the car, entry fees, annual licensing, safety equipment, it all adds up. And then you get to the track, you got to buy fuel, you got to buy food, you have to pay to stay at the track. It's just so many things add up. And if you can take that all into account and justify it in your own head, then I could say do it. But if I had known going into it that I would have spent this much money, would I have done it? No. No, I wouldn't have done it. I would have taken that money and stuck it into this thing, to be honest. It needs a new set of wheels, it needs a new set of tires. I would love to upgrade the brakes. There's so many other things I could have done with this car and gotten more enjoyment out of because it would have lasted longer. Now, had the car made it the whole weekend and I would have gotten to drive it a few hours, would I change my tune? Possibly, but I can't answer that because that didn't happen. So what I'd say is, if you can justify the expense in your head and you know that it's a car that you're going to use over and over and over again so you can get your money back out of it, then yeah, do it. But if it's something you just want to do once and you're not sure that you're going to want to do it more than once, then I'd say don't do it. It's not worth it. It'd be better off to get on some other team that's looking for a driver that already has a car, so you have a lot less to invest in it than to start a whole new car from scratch. So that's my 2 cents on it. I do have some complaints about the way Lemons ran that particular race, but what's done is done, so I'm not even going to get into it. So that's what I'd say. Take that information and do with it what you will. Make your own decisions. So that is going to finally wrap up this episode of Josh's Car Corner. The next episode that you will see is going to be the footage from Hot Rod Drag Weekend. I'm actually really excited about that because that was an incredible weekend, life-changing, eye-opening weekend, which you'll see once the episode is up. So thanks again for watching, and we will see you guys later.